Black life begins in the womb. Not only that, the fight for black men. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Are we not concerned? How many of you out there got sons? We got brothers. We got fathers. Where is our fight for black men that are not a part of the LGBTQ community? Right? Why are we helping this system destroy our own men? I don't understand that. Right? Even when it comes to putting the government in our business, when we break up with our baby daddy and now all of a sudden you mad because he with another woman and you want child support and you want to drag them and they're telling us what to do, what we can and cannot do in our own families. If you were watching my show the other day, a mother just lost custody of her child because she refused to get the damn.
What's good, world? Yeah, what's happening with you, man? You don't know me, I go by the name MD, aka the Chakra Daddy. This is my first little live stream, you dig? Yeah. I like my new set. Nice, right? Shout out to my little bro for helping me with the little shindig. I got the crystal daddies and shit. My boy Carl. Yeah, shout out to Carl, man. Yeah, hey, so look, this is a new little live stream I got going. It's my first episode. This is Aquarius versus Pisces, you know what I'm talking about? The transitions of the ages, you dig? This is a little collage. I might switch up my little format. I just put a little collage together, but hopefully I don't get no copyright strike. But I got some new parts coming in that where I can actually, you know, screen share and really get into the woo daddy, you dig? So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how you like this. You know what I'm saying? Any suggestions for all the other content creators? Shout out to all the other content creators too, by the way. This right here is not easy, man. But I'm gonna make it do what it do. On this show, we gonna get into astrology, you know what I mean? Studying the stars, that's above, so below. We gonna get back into the finances, man, because it's imperative we as people get back to the money, you know what I'm talking about? Get back to the STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. My little bro I was speaking of, he's an electrical engineer. I come from a background of scientists, and Spirit put on my heart for me to get on here, you know what I'm talking about? And just, you know, provide the knowledge I have. Start these conversations, man, because the dating scene is crazy right now. And our numbers is dwindling. You know what I'm talking about? We got a lot of women out here playing games, man, using the kids as pawns and shit. Oh man, it's crazy out here, man. All that old child support and women out here using, you know, men, this, you know, all that was cool, you feel me? But not, that was at Pisces, the I believe, you feel me? So let's get into it. Pisces is the I believe, you feel me? We are now into the age of Aquarius, the I know, a masculine sign. Pisces, feminine, that's when you had all that, like, they was banging on men, you feel me? Hey, if you ain't been heard of the manosphere, hey, men rising up around the world, and women, y'all better get right. Yeah. Because the dating scene out here is crazy, you feel what I'm saying? Super crazy. And hey, we out going to get it and coming back with it, you feel me? Like, y'all gonna have to make some decisions, both men and women. I'm not here to debate that, but at the same time, you know what I'm talking about? It's some work we need to do because we need each other, you hear me? Amen. So let's get into it, man. Shout out to all the people in the video. I'm gonna put their information in the links. Hey, if you like the content, if it's valuable and you want me to keep making more, hit that cash app, you feel me? I'm gonna have that too in the Whoop Daddy, and we're gonna get right into it without further ado. Yeah.
I can't stand with women that help our government destroy our men, because at the end of the day, you ain't got black life is in the scrotum of the black man. You ain't got black life if you ain't got the black man. Y'all better wake up.
It's ND, baby.
There are women in our community, in other communities, I want to say, and their man may not be there. So they put a picture of the man on the mantle, and they teach their children to honor that picture. Okay? Because that's their father.
Yes.
And it represents a decision that I made to lay down with him and reproduce and make this child. Okay? We don't even show our children their daddy. And if we say anything about him, it's usually negative. And it's usually based on something that we have going with the man, that we mad about. Because we always mad at him. And he do things to make us mad. But we going to have to learn to back that up some. It's a lot of people that do things against us to make us mad. And we don't treat them as bad as we treat our baby daddy.
Oh, woo, thank you.
This crazy sit here and make me run through hoops when I've been there with my children since day one. I won't do it. And I'm that type of man. I will not do it. And if that's what qualifies me as a deadbeat, then I don't give a because now this terminology of deadbeat has done gone so far to where if you're not under a woman's control, you're a deadbeat. Yeah. This ain't got shit to do with no child support. You crazy.
I just can't fathom it, and it's just so unnecessary. But you know, I'm here to do a plug, if you will, about the because you've helped me with my channel, and I've been growing some people about just real life stuff as it relates to things that I've experienced, but also because I was a single mother, and one of my adopted nieces said, well, maybe we should have a single mother sphere. And what that is to grow young women about, yeah, you may be a single mother, but you're not a baby mama, because there's a mentality, and it's about holding women accountable who are single mothers and about handling your business, but also doing the right thing. Like this, I just commented on Brittany Renner yesterday. That is foolishness.
When I have conflict, when I have feelings that need to be addressed, I address them. I do not use my friends as my therapist, and as I've grown more emotionally independent, when something happens, I sit with it as opposed to calling a friend and emotionally dumping onto them. My biggest fear, stepping into my femininity. And it's a little problematic when the things that I want require me to step into my femininity. Why am I afraid to step into my femininity? I don't want to let go of the illusion of control.
I don't want to let go of the illusion of control.
I am terrified to let go and free fall. Opened up to the wrong people, and clinging to the independent bad facade makes me feel safer. When you've had to do everything on your own, who needs anyone? Who needs a man? Men are a liability. Men have hurt and betrayed me. My rough exterior is for my protection. You see me breathing as I'm just let it go. There you go. Get it out. My rough exterior scares people away. And that's what I want. I can do things for you that you are unable to do for yourself. That makes me powerful. And with that power,
gives me more control.
And that control increases my value. Nobody can hurt me if I hold on to this power.
Right. I went about playing games with your children at the expense of their father. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
So I'm going that's going to be one of my focuses as a previous single mother, because I'm grown now, I'm a grandmother. But I want to bring the young women up on game. Y'all need to quit playing games with these kids and the fathers.
Facts. And that's what a lot of us say over here in the manosphere. You're exactly right. So, you got two types of two spheres, but kind of interrelated, right? Because
yeah, but
the truth is the truth, no matter what you want to label the sphere.
And who pays for it are the kids at the end of the day. Bottom line up front. Yeah. That's who pays.
And finally, someone that can give out information from a legal standpoint and not just what he thinks, what he's guessing. That's my job. I think I snap. I don't know. But it's also good to have the flip side of the coin
of someone who looks like me, who looks like us, who's a man and is not afraid to tell the truth and speak up for men. We're not against all women and none of that crap. But when it's wrong, it's wrong. So are we going to go so far as to say now that if a woman in this society is doing something wrong, we can't call it out just because she's a woman? That's not cool. We can't make society about a gender. We can't make society about what you identify with. We can't make society about none of that. It's good, evil, right, and wrong. And anything else other than that is just your opinion. And there's laws that we have to follow. But there's certain people now using the law, they're using their gender, and they're using this crack of the whip against men, and they're pretending to be victims while taking away the essence of a man. And I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's right. So shout out to the lead attorney. It was great commentary. It was actually funny to see someone break it down in that way, but in an intelligent way. Yeah, it was good to see, because everybody say I joke and all this, but even still, when he did it in an intelligent way, he broke it down and gave facts. And thank you for all the people who super chat. But when he broke it down and gave facts, people were still saying, pay your child support, boy. Why you ain't pay that $3,000, boy? Pay your child support. You ain't no real man. You a deadbeat. Pay your child support. Even after the man that you claim, you know, you want to hear intelligence. You want to hear somebody speak facts. You want to hear somebody who's not cursing. He did none of those things, really. He was just speaking the facts. Over 30 years of experience. And just spoke the truth. And people were still going against it. A guardian ad litem has nothing to do with child support. Let me say that one more time. It has nothing to do with child support. The moment she filed child support on me, they gave us a temporary order before you even figured out visitation or anything. That's what you guys don't get. Guardian ad litem has nothing to do with child support. They're going to figure out child support as soon as your name on the docket. Then the key fact is, my daughter, my eldest daughter, was 15 years old when this whole thing started. She's now a grown adult woman. This was 5.5, 6 years ago now. So for you people to sit here and talk about a man the way that you guys do, just because we have a system to find a way to shame a black man, either it's through the child support system or you're the R word. And some men are the R word, but it's not just black men. There's R words. There's R word women. You know, I won't tell you how old the first woman was and how old I was when I got my first little taste. She was a grown woman, but we don't talk about that in our society. We want to make black man back, black man angry, black man don't love his kid, black man just want to hump and leave. And that's not the case. Black men want to be respected the same way you respect them white boys. The same way you code switch and lighten up that voice of yours and you put on your best dress and you on your best behavior. I want to be respected like you respect them white boys. And that's what you guys never understood about a man. Us black men get to see a lot of women change their behavior in front of a certain type of man. And normally it's a white man. Normally it's a white man at a job. He can get your nicest voice. Yeah, you talk so sweet to that white boy. He can get your best behavior. You would not yell and show him that other side of you in front of that white boy. Yeah. You will act just like you the saint. And that's what I want. Respect me like you respect them white boys. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about. There's another thing. I emailed the lead attorney, asked him to help with 5. His perspective on the situation. Thank you. There was too many panels giving out bad and wrong information. I'm glad you responded. He was fair and objective and put you in a wonderful light. Well, I appreciate him for that, because the truth is what it is. He wasn't trying to put me in a wonderful light, I don't think. I think if it was something that would have put me in a bad light, I think he would have said that too. But he actually stated facts. See, these men, some of these men, they Cape Crusaders for women, and they just some weak that's all they do. See, a woman. See what he said. And I'm not one of them niggas. Truth and facts gonna kick you in the ass every time with me. I never said I was a perfect man. And when I do something wrong, I'll accept whatever comes with that. You know, I'm going to accept whatever comes with the mistake that I make. But what I will not do, I will not accept someone just with me. I won't accept that. And it's sad that we have a society that want to with real men now. We have a society that if you don't talk like this and you don't act like Don Lemon and you don't say and do everything that woman is God until you're Angela Stanton and you're saying something that we don't like, then we'll treat you like. So you guys better take that apple out of your mouth for these people who pretending like they like you. See, this court system don't about my kids. They don't give a goddamn that that this woman is angry.
Our brothers, most of them, they don't want to get married because it's such a pain in the behind dealing with us about marriage. We want this real expensive ring. We want to give money to some other white people or some Greeks or Asians or somebody other than self. We want to be able to have all this fabulous furniture and home, not just for ourselves, but to show off in front of other people. And so we put a pressure on our man. And then if we break up with our man, then we put him under the child support system that destroys the rest of his life, destroys his credit. They can take his car, stop him from getting health insurance. All of these things happen under the child support program. And the way the devil has got it set up, if he makes $500 a week, they want $400 of it. See, they don't want to leave him anything to even survive on.
Wouldn't you want honesty, right, doctor?
Why? We're not honest. That's another thing. Let me get on that. We always want somebody to tell us the truth. We don't tell the truth. It's optional. We tell the truth when it's convenient, when we think it'll benefit us, when we think it'll make him admire us, or whatever. But we're not the truth tellers. So we always going around. Well, you know, the women used to tell me, they would be, like I said, they would have fake breasts, fake eyelashes, fake hair, and then they would tell me, but I want a real man. You know, and I used to laugh about that. I laugh about that because we ain't no more real than they are. We just lie differently. Okay? They're not as shrewd as us, so they get busted. They get caught and they lie. You know, we'll lie for 10, 20 years. We can lie for 10, 15, 20 years and don't never tell the truth about something.
Young brothers, this is the age of Aquarius. Extend consciousness. Nerd up in these streets. Yeah, listen. Let Simple P call you a square. Or don't like. It's okay. If you a square, you a square. You ain't slapped.
Oh, wow.
Get it? I'm the same way. I ain't never slapped, right? So I ain't never pimped nobody, right? I just do my own thing. I stay in my own lane. I don't try to be who I'm not. But we can help. Everybody can have a part in this.
ND 2020 production.
I'm a young black man, doing all that I can to stand all the when I look around. Man, you shouldn't even be looking at me right now.
What I do, Rudy?
I'm saying, man, you done put my boy on child support. He do so much for you and them ugly little kids.
Don't talk about my kids.
Only one of them is his. Only one of them. You got him out here on child support looking stupid. You got me looking stupid too in front of these white people.
Don't talk about my kids, Rudy. I don't play about my kids.
No, man, I don't play about Terrell. Cause if he looking stupid, I'm looking stupid too. Cause birds of a feather, they flock together.
But Rudy, you don't know nothing about what's going on.
I do know a lot. That man was sleeping with you and them 35 roaches, and you talking about I don't know what's going on.
You don't know.
I do know what's going on. When he had all them ear infections, you couldn't figure it out. I was there.
He don't do nothing for his kids, and that's the end of the story.
He can't do nothing for his kids. He tired of sending you money because you keep going getting all this fake Peruvian, and your edges still be dry, and your Levi's still be showing. So why you keep trying to get money for?
Submissive just really means agreement. I say that all the time. Okay? It just means that if he gives a direction or comes up with an idea, then we need to think it over and try to get with it if it makes any sense. And as far as us thinking we're better than him, it ain't nobody better than the black man on the earth. He is the first man that God designed, and everybody else came after him. Every nationality, even us. And so we have the man who is supreme over all of the other men on the earth.
I have 2 boys and a young daughter, and my son, my 15-year-old son, committed suicide. Their dad is in prison. He's been in prison since they were babies. He has a life sentence. I say all of that to say I've been doing a lot of research. I've been doing a lot of reading. Obviously, for me to even be a single mom, spent my own money. I have my own business, everything, to even invest in myself, to get involved with BWO and everything. I say all of that to say me and my sons watch your videos, Brother Bennett. Like, we watch your Instagram, everything. And it's so, I'm starting to realize how much the attack is heavy on our black boys and men. I'm doing a lot of research on how many people are actually, how many black boys are doing this to themselves. And I say all of that to say, when you talk about the dresses and everything like that, I felt ostracized because obviously I have heterosexual and homosexual people in my family, but I also have black boys that I'm raising, black men that, and I have a 13-year-old son as well that we're struggling to get through this because we know who my 15-year-old son is. And I'm saying that to say, I would like for that to be an awareness thing that we have to speak on this, because when I was looking at a lot of Instagram of rappers they listen to, they're putting content out like, I'm gonna kill myself. God, Lord, forgive me for saying they're putting this out here, not knowing that they're influencing the minds of our young boys and our young men, and they're not actually gonna do it. Right. But you don't understand how much is imperative to not put that type of content out, and it's being released in the atmosphere, and it's being released in the spirit world, and we're losing, or we're starting to develop this mentality where to me, I feel like it's opposition. Like, Brother Kwame, I want to commend you, because I can only imagine how much agony that you may have went through with your past experiences in the NBA and everything like that. But you persevered, and we have to lift that up. And I just wanted you all to know, like, keep going. People are watching. Just like the opposition is there, just like I call it the law of the opposites. That means when you're going to experience the opposite first, what happens is we give up, right? Before we prevail, and you prevail. And Brother Ben X, you prevail. Like, you young. And it's crazy. My son laugh at your videos, but also that the content stick in their mind after that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's not just I want to go. I'm a leader, and I'm gonna be that. I know that it happened to me for a reason. I'm a black mother that was supposed to destroy me. Like, I want to tell you, like, Brother Bennett, it take everything in me to go back to the vault and look at digital real estate again, and keep going with my business, and keep teaching my 13-year-old son, and keep You know what I mean? But that happened to me for a reason, and I don't want his life to be in vain. I don't want any other black mother's lives to be in vain that's experienced this. But I want to prevent this from happening. The men that, like you said, we go through a lot of things where we don't heal from it, and the only option is to end our lives. But we all have a purpose here, right? And we have to build and stick together to continue this battle, because it is a battle. What would you all say, or how do you feel about that situation?
I commend you. I commend you, and I will say this: you are the example of that mama's cooking that I'm talking about, because I wouldn't have made it through. Women have the mental strength of 10 men, in my opinion, because you guys can go through things emotionally, and you still have that discernment to get through it. Men, we're strong in a different way. But that discernment and the way that you guys navigate through the tough situations, the worst situations. My mother was going through abuse with my father, but she would not leave us. My dad was an old school man. He like, look, you just go. And back in the day, you know, a man could hit a woman, just tell him, just leave, and you're gonna leave without the kids. My mother stayed and made sure she fought for her kids. So just hearing your strength, it reminds me of the old school women. And just understand that your boys are going to follow. Young boys, trust me, especially these young men now that are growing up solely without fathers, these kids will lay down their life or kill for their mothers.
Right.
So your strength is what they're going to look for. So as long as you're still, you know, stay prayed up, stay in good spirits and stay positive, then they'll do the same. But if they see you slip, just try to cry in the dark. You know, I was that nosy kid that always caught my mom crying. So she always looked so strong in front of everybody else, and she would always eat last, and you know, always made sure we had enough. But then, you know, I would be that kid that I still don't sleep much. I'll sleep early, but then I'm up at night. So I would see her crying, and I was just like, man, you know, it kind of made me wanting to be that type of peaceful person to where I'm always looking out for others. So I kind of took on her characteristics for us looking out for others first. So you just be encouraged and stay prayed up because they're watching you.
And what I would say is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, adversity is the mother of creativity. So I would, in those prayers, ask why and listen for the answer.
Right.
Because we are all born and we're all going to die. And if we never wanted to die, we might as well not live. Now, there are certain circumstances and situations that are unfortunate for somebody young dying or dying as a baby, but everything I believe is the book. Yes, we can go into the Bible. Yes, we can go into the Quran, but honestly, we all books within our own right. We must study everything around us. So in that, I will look into what caused him to maybe commit suicide. What was the circumstances? What was the signs? Because now there may be something that has now been ignited in you that can cause you to start to speak and make another child, another mother who maybe didn't communicate, who maybe didn't open up, who maybe didn't allow them to speak, and they can change the relationship that they have with their child. Look at it.
Absolutely.
Yes, I lost my child, but God has given me a platform and a certain mindset and a certain strength to speak. You know how many mothers have not spoken? You know how many mothers wouldn't take this opportunity and say this in front of 4,000 plus people? So he has given you the strength. You probably just saved, sister, hundreds of mothers, hundreds of fathers by you just sharing your testimony. So if you start to talk about that, because it's life, we all gonna go through something. So if you talk about it, what did you learn from it? What would you do differently? Absolutely. You have the potential to save so many other children, although you lost yours. But when we look at it from God's eyes, from a higher perspective, I lost one, but I saved many. I have studied the mind a little bit, and what I found is in suicide, we have a certain blueprint that we have in our mind. We have a certain thing that we would like to be happening in our lives. And when we feel like we cannot get this blueprint, or we're hopeless, or I have no power to change it, then we just say, I want to check out. But if we change the meaning of what something means in my head, if I change the meaning of that unfortunate situation in my head, I can see it from a different perspective. So sometimes children check out because the parents have not expressed that things are hard, have not expressed that I'm going through it, and whatever you have used to get over your problems, if you share those same tips with your children, if you share those same spiritual principles with your children, then what'll happen is you may arm them with the right armor that they need to overcome that suicidal thoughts as well. So what I would say is get you some spiritual principles, whether if it's the Bible, Quran, whether if it's just motivational speaking. The mindset is so very important. Our subconscious is what leads to our feelings. Our feelings is what leads to our actions, and our actions is what gives us the results that we have. So I read a book one time, sister, that said, if you want to change the fruit, you got to change the root. And the root is our mindset. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. We don't do nothing, sister, without a thought. Peeing, walking, it's just subconscious at this point, but it's a thought. So before he did that, before anybody do anything, it's a thought that we have to have. So we can get into the mind and change his mind early, and we can start to prevent some of these situations.
And like you said, Brother Ben, like that's absolute. Had I known this would have been my path, if I had to make a choice, of course I wouldn't accept it. But it's my journey now. Like it took a whole different turn. So what you just said gave me the ammunition, to continue to go. And I do want. I know kids may not be listening, but parents are, like you said, and it does need to be expressed, because all we think about is how we gonna pay these bills, or how we finna start an evolution or revolution or whatever, and we're not thinking about our children at home. Our children are at home now at the time, like what's going on with this pandemic and all of this. They're ostracized and they're isolated, and they're not socializing. They're not getting enough sun. They're not going outside, all of these things. And all we thinking about is we have the weight on our shoulders to take care of life, but we're forgetting that they're a part of that too. In the word, it says that it's going to come out of the mouths of babes. Yeah. So we have to build the babes up. It's not a coincidence that the influence targets minors, whether it be sports, movies, entertainment, cartoons. Entertainment business is the most influential for a reason. Mm-hmm. And we cut on YouTube and walk away because we got to study or we got to do work from home. We cut on the TV.
Let me ask you this, sister. The digital real estate that you build on, what's your brand? What's your
I have a full, like a vegan skincare line / herbal holistic.
Are you doing anything with children, like to speak out about your situation, maybe to help other mothers?
Now I am. Like I said, my life took a whole different turn. I am now, but I got to be honest with you. It's a fight for me, because I feel like God is pressing me. Like, you mourn, but your healing is gonna come from you pushing.
That's
your
right.
Healing is gonna come from me. Even me doing this. As you can see, I'm out on my patio. Like, all I do is listen to content. I wake up in the morning and cut on and get back into my BWO. Like I said, Ben X, the 9th of June was the day that Chris was launching the Autobots. That was the same night. So if you understand,
let me ask you this, sister. From this day forward, are you looking to start speaking on your platform about this, about Absolutely. Your experience to help mothers?
Absolutely. Like
what's
my life.
What's your cash app?
My cash app is $Divine DIVINE organics. So it's $Divine organics.
And it's divine in nature.
Yes, it has 100% vegan logo, so to speak.
Well, this is what I want to do, because I know we got to move to the next caller. I just donated $200. Go get you a camera. Go get you some accessories, and I would encourage you to start speaking about this, because I believe that if you speak about this, you share this story, and you start to speak about your process of overcoming the anxiety, overcoming the stress, coming into your calling that God is moving you into, I think you could save a lot of women and a lot of families by encouraging mothers and fathers to have better communication with their children so they can prevent this. So give your Instagram name. I just donated you $200. Whatever you need to get kicking and going on your Instagram to get consistent with this.
Okay.
I would like for you to start doing this because the voice that you have, I can hear it. I think you can really save a lot of sisters, you know, with their children.
I just donated as well.
Thank you. I donated too, but thank you for returning the seed. But my Instagram is Divine in Nature. It's just Divine in Nature. But I'll see you in Hawaii too once you get there, and I'll have an update on me and let you know what's going on. But that I'm doing.
I'm gonna be checking. I'm gonna be checking every day to see if you put some content up.
I'm from London,
Okay.
so I kind of wanted. It's not really a question. It's more like a comment. I just kind of wanted to speak on what was happening here, like internationally, because I think that usually what happens in Europe tends to kind of follow in the States and vice versa. So last week they passed a law here where children under the age of 16 are able to get hormone tablets where they can transition to another gender without parental consent. And I just think it's really twisted. I think that that's really the agenda, is that they're trying to, yeah. And I mean, there's an uproar about it at the moment, but the government's doubling down that they're not really trying to change their mind about it. And I think that that's really what the agenda is that they're not just trying to come after children. I think they're also trying to push parents out of the way so that parents are not going to be able to have a say anymore.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I agree as well.
Yeah, remember that video that I showed where they had that song, I think Self-Talk played it, or was it Forgotten King, somebody?
Yeah, we coming after your kids or something like that.
Yeah, they coming after your kids, and they are. And they coming after your kids, and yeah, they doing it. And they can get a pill. You want to change my kid without my consent that I gave birth to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do, is that they're really trying to push parents out of the way so that they're not able to say anything. And it's getting really bad over here. Like they're teaching children about the LGBT community from as young as 7 years old. They teach.
Wait a minute, 7 years old?
Yes.
What would be the point of a 7-year-old needing to know what he or she identifies with?
Just the same as what a 9-year-old need to know about changing their whole sex that I just mentioned.
I'm asking you. I'm confused. I just don't. I don't.
We
understand.
are too. We are too.
It doesn't make sense, but they're really. I don't know about in the States, but here in the UK, they're really doubling down on this. Like
they're doing it there, they'll do it here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me bring somebody else up with you. Hold on. I got somebody in the chat. We're gonna bring it 2 at a time. Hey, how you doing?
Hello, how are you doing, Kwame Brown?
All right, I'm
Hello,
doing
panel.
good.
How's everybody?
Hi.
Good. AK, you stay right
I
there.
want
Go
to
ahead.
take my hat off to you, Kwame, and thank you for everything that you are doing.
Thank you so much.
I'm 50 years old, Spitfire. I know exactly where you're standing at with this. When my son was about 2 years old, he put my shoes on. And when I saw that, knowing that I was raising him alone because my marriage ended while I was carrying him, I immediately spanked his behind and told him, "You never do that. You don't wear mommy's shoes." Children look for someone they can identify with when they are small, and it is up to us to guide them in the right direction. And it is not permissible to allow other people to tell your children which direction to go in. Men don't wear skirts. Men don't wear heels. They don't wear lipstick. When I was married, if my lipstick got on my husband, I immediately rubbed it off. I don't want to see you wearing what I wear.
And that's the thing. Like they get so in the uproar about a little kid wanting to wear the same shoes as his mother. Little boys love their mother. Little girls love their mother. So that's who the first person we're around. So of course we want to mimic what you're doing. That's all we see. That's all that is. Children just copy what they see. If a man is there putting on boots every day, then that little kid will go put on those boots. Even my daughter wear my boots. So I'm not, you know, I didn't look at it like you looked at it, but she just wants to be like her daddy. So, I mean, I think it's much to do about nothing. What do you think, Miss Fire?
With your daughter, Kwame, that's different. Little girls want to be like daddy, and I can speak from my own experience. Wanting to be like daddy, I wanted to fish like daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hunt like daddy. I wanted to work on cars like daddy. I did all of that, but it never caused me to lose my sexuality.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you.
I agree with her on that.
But little boys, when they start copying mom,
yes,
they want to copy everything that mommy's doing.
I wouldn't let my son do that now. No. My son gonna wear my boots. No.
Because I was a tomboy. I like to do a lot of the things that the boys like to do. And I dated boys. So I don't think that for some reason it just doesn't have the same effect if it was a little boy wearing heels.
Right. See, I never had that happen. I never had my son do that. My daughters have done it. They want to copy me to the T. But my son, he always, you know, just falling and hurting himself. So I never had that happen. But I think you guys are right on that. And I leave it to you guys to say that. I wouldn't let my son do it either.
It's ND, baby.